Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to talk about events in JavaScript. So we can simply say that events are something the browser does or something a user does. It can be user actions like the click of a button or press of a key. So whenever the user click on a button or presses any key, these are all user events. And also we can have actions like loading of one image. And also the events can be internal like triggering of one timer. So all of these are possible events that can occur. Now in JavaScript also we have the listeners. So the listeners always listens to any of those possible events, and whenever any of the possible event occurs, then the listener will execute the corresponding block of code. So we have the listeners listening for any of the possible events, and whenever any event occurs, then the corresponding block of code will be executed, and this way we can create interactive dynamic web page. So now we're going to see how we can add events to any HTML element. So here we're going to create one button. Now we're going to add one click event to that button. So we're going to use the onClick for the click event. Now inside the quotation we can write our JavaScript. So whenever we click on that button, the given JavaScript will be executed. Now inside the double quotation we're going to use the JavaScript to increase the font size of the button. So we're going to write this dot style dot font size, and we're going to increase the font size to 26 pixel. So whenever we click on that button, then the JavaScript will execute and it will modify the font size to 26 pixel. So let's just click on the button. So you can see the font size increases to 26 pixel. Now there is one general question occurs that we cannot write several lines of code inside that double quotation. So instead we can do it, we can call one function like style button, and we can write our styling inside that function. So inside the script tag we are going to define our function style button, and here we can pass one reference of that button, and we're going to receive here as button. And now we can use the button reference and we can do the exact same thing, and we can modify the font size to 26 pixel. Now the code will does exactly the same thing. The only difference is that now we're using one function instead of writing the JavaScript inside the double quotation. So you can see we are passing the button as reference. So we can do it the other way. We can assign one ID to the button like btn, and then we can use the reference of that button. So we can use the document dot get element by ID, and here we have to pass the ID of the button. So we are getting the reference of the button, and then we are modifying the font size. Now also we are gonna have the same output. So here you can see we have added the click event to the button, which is hard coded. Now we can make that dynamic by using the addEventListener. So for that, what I'm gonna do, first of all I'm gonna take the reference of the button, and after that we have to do button dot addEventListener. So the addEventListener takes two parameters. So first one is the event itself. So we're gonna add the click event, and the second parameter it takes one function. So we're gonna pass the style button function. So here we are adding the click event to the button. So whenever we click on that button, then the style button function will be called, and the function will change the font size. So we have the output as earlier, but now our code is much more organized and dynamic. Here we can use the addEventListener and we can add multiple events. Like an example, we can add the mouse over event, and here we are going to pass one mouse over handler function, and now we have to define the function, and inside the function we're going to simply console log the string mouse over. So now you can see we have two events to the button element. We have the click event and the mouse over. So whenever we click on that, it will call the style button, and whenever we put our mouse over that button, then it will call the mouse over handler function. So now let's check it out. So whenever we click on that, you can see the font size increases, and we put our mouse over that button, you can see we have the console log as mouse over. So the add event listener is the best way to go about it when we wanted to add multiple listener to the button. And there are lots and lots of other events. Here is few of the most important ones. So first of all, we have the click event that we just saw. It triggered whenever we click on any element, and we can add the click event to any element, and we can call the corresponding handler function. Similarly, also we have the change event. The change event fired whenever the input value changes, and also we have the key down that fires whenever we press any key. And also we have the mouse over. This event occurs whenever we put our mouse over one element. And also we have the submit event. So the submit event triggers whenever we submit our form. So this way we can add events to any HTML element, and we can make our content much more interactive and dynamic. So hope you understand about the concept of events in JavaScript. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.